Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Dearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. We are lifting all boats instead of sinking others to make people feel good. Yay! Anyway, though, I have had a heck of a day today, and it's already 2 o'clock. Getting kind of late, but I had a CT scan today not here, of my lungs, bases of my lungs. Problem is, they need to see my lungs, so I had to lift my arms up and over my head and then hold them there while I went in and out of the machine, and by the time I was done, this was not good. It is not good even now. So I am not doing well physically in that fashion. I am experiencing a lot of nerve pain, a lot of issues, so yay, but it's use it or lose it, so. But anyway, though, past that, we also had room inspections today, but as stated, these are more, I mean, we're adults, and we're old adults who don't have a lot of mobility, but so they're not coming in to check, you know, white glove behind your pictures for dust or anything. No, today it was just an infrastructure check, just to make sure everything's working well. Checked out in the bathroom, to look at the shower, looked at all the, just to make sure things were working well. Thumbs up. I found out part of the thing in my room. There are a couple spots. Up on the ceiling is where the fire suppression comes in, so if there will be a burst of high pressure water to put out any fire quickly. Oh boy, there's a fire alarm, smoke alarm, where I mentioned that at one point I'd just been sitting here and, how about that? And my jump reflex, so if I've been talking with a piece of dill or something in my teeth, that's because there was a piece of dill in my teeth, or something like that. But the smoke alarm went off, and it just, the healthy jump reflex, and scared the snot out of me. But it works. And then there's another very complicated device on the wall that I thought was part of it, like a control panel, but it's more of a ventilation system. What it does is it continuously monitors the air, and if it's too warm or too cold, not too warm or too cold, too humid or too dry or whatever, it'll switch the fan on, and then it brings air out of here and then blows it out into the outside world. And the guy took the front panel off, showed me the fan and the filter on the inside, so yeah. He also mentioned that a lot of the other people, really, it drives them crazy. But I haven't heard it come on, so either mine doesn't come on, or it's of a frequency that I can't hear. If it's one of those mosquito frequencies that's very, very high, I'm not going to be able to hear it. Once you become, you know, you pass from teenager to adult, you begin to lose things, and those mosquito frequencies are frequencies that only young people can hear. And once you get older and become an adult, you can't hear it anymore. So if it's a mosquito frequency that comes like that, I can understand why it would drive some of the younger people crazy. If it's a lower tone, I have trouble, because I'm getting older, with lower tones as well. I can't remember if I mentioned this. I was talking with one of the people here. He's got a lower voice. And I could hear syllables. I could hear his voice. But I couldn't figure out what the syllables were. And it was like, oh my God, I've lost hearing. I could hear it, same volume, but it's like I'd be like that. There was this, I had to ask him to speak louder, and I could hear him. I was like, oh my God. Yay for age-related hearing loss. So if it's a lower frequency sound, then yeah, I'm going to have issues hearing that. At the same time, I still have really, really good hearing. I can still hear a lot of electronic whining sounds. I can tell when an electronic device is on sometimes. I used to be able to do it all the time when younger. Now, not so much. Yay. But thumbs up for hearing loss. Even though my hearing in the ranges that are still here are good. The range is shrinking. Yay on that. So we've had the inspection here. I've had the CT. I ate a fair amount of rice. I made jasmine rice. And I made a joke on Twitter about craving rice. And I think I put this in a community post where I was going, oh, I'm craving rice. But I kind of am. So I looked up, why am I craving rice? And it's like, well, you could be craving carbohydrates and fiber. I do have a fiber deficit in my diet, so it could be that I am seriously and honestly craving that for carbs and fiber, which, cool. They also say, oh, it could be just a comfort food, or it could be, that you're just hungry. Well, no, I think about it even when I'm not hungry. And I haven't had it until now enough that I've enjoyed it enough. It can't be a comfort food yet. So, gotta be the carbs and the... Yes, that. Because got fiber. Because good God, my brain. Because yeah, I've been craving that rice. And oh boy, it just smells and tastes good. Now today I kind of messed up, but you couldn't even really tell. While it was still in the water stage, which is foolish of me, I should have put it in when it wasn't, but I thought, hey, I'll flavor the water and then the water will sink into the rice, but I put in some rosemary. And I meant to just tap in a little from the bottle, and instead I knocked it into the lid and the whole bunch poured in. So I tried to use just a little bit of time, and instead I knocked the bottle and a whole bunch went in. So by that point it was like, well, what's the point of even trying now? So I just grabbed a thing of pepper flakes and shook a whole bunch in. Now, after cooking, I couldn't even really taste that I'd done that. It has a subtle flavor. Like, I could taste that there was rosemary and thyme, and I could taste that there was pepper flakes, but it was a very subtle and delicate thing. I believe I should wait until the water has been soaked up and it's just rice and, starch, and then let it soak in while it's in the last portions of cooking. Good God, my sincere apologies. I have bad insomnia, and my CT was at 8:30 this morning. So because I'm worried, my insomnia was even worse. Again, I have had horrible insomnia my whole life. The only time that I haven't had insomnia with medications is when I've taken either Ritalin or caffeine, because then it makes my brain work properly enough that I can sleep. Otherwise, I go to bed and I wake up 4 hours later after fitful sleep, and then I toss and turn until I hurt so much that I gotta get up. And it's been 6 hours, and that's only because I stayed in bed while awake. So last night I got even less, because anytime there's an interruption in my schedule, I get freaked out and my whole body and mind gets messed up. So I found it difficult to sleep, and I was well awake before 6 o'clock. Still though, I'm alive. I'm just really tired and still really trying to recover from that. It sounds simple, and it really is, but it was like with the first time that they were checking for a whole bunch of other things when it was on this side, and they had me just laying flat on the table so that they could do the ultrasound. I was in agony. It was like torture, and it took days to recover from that, and I was just laying flat on a table, and it destroyed this area. Lifting up my arms over my head for Oh, good God, I am so sorry for a length of time like that, and ay. So I talked with someone at the hospital. I still don't know what's going on with other things. I mean, I'm in a place where half the time I don't even have cell service. I have to walk far away towards Walmart before I get cell service. So when people are trying to call me, what are they getting? And because it's a month-by-month pay thing, and I've never really had to worry about it because I just had it for two-factor authentication, I don't have a voicemail box set up, and I don't know how to do it. I don't have any of the instructions anymore, and even if I do set it up right now, I don't get any of those older messages that were in there. So I need to have a thing put in there when they send it off to contact me via email or let me know, because there's a couple specialty clinics out there where the only information I was given was they will contact you. How do you even follow up on that? Call the hospital or show up at the hospital, do something and say, hi, yes, a specialty clinic that my doctor said was going to call me didn't. What clinic? I don't know. What specialty clinic? I don't know. Where are they? I don't know. When was the referral made? I don't know. All I was told was they'll contact you. American healthcare system. So past that, I'm just going to try and relax today because of this. I've got games that I want to figure out how to play, because with my ADHD and hyperfixating when I can, which is getting more difficult. Here's what, they will tell you ADHD gets better as you get older. It may for some people. It may for some types of ADHD. It has gotten so much worse as I've gotten older. I used to, when I was around 20 years old, have a different book for every room because I was reading every single book in every room and I could keep track of what was going on in my head when I went from book to book. As I got older, I lost the ability to meaningfully read. It is so hard. I don't read books anymore. I can't. It's hard to read an instruction manual. Just focusing on it is so hard. And then there's the natural, just a moment here, my apologies. There's the natural time blindness of age where things just sort of move faster while you're not looking. I've already got time blindness, whereas blink, 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 hours pass like days. Days pass, got it backwards, but it's, days pass like hours, weeks pass like days, months pass like weeks, years pass like months. I'm 61. I only remember maybe a third of my life. Time blindness for the win. Add that on top of natural aging time blindness and whoo, it's all gone. I can hyperfixate periodically, and I can generally hyperfixate. That's one of the reasons I was able to pick up so much of the solo RPG stuff and still am. For a collector enjoyment way, because I have so many things now. What they tell you is find a system and settle down with it. I get itchy feet. I move from thing to thing. I'm never going to find one thing that makes me happy. But I've got so much now that if I just sat down to play one after the other, I wouldn't be having fun. That would be work to get through it. So I just need to find one of the things and just go with it, because one of my plans for the solo RPG stuff is I want to on channel as in make a video where I create the landmass, zoom in and make a smaller map out of that, and then define an area and then make the character to adventure in the area in a sort of sandbox plot thing. Now, sandbox plotting and just doing anything at all can be difficult and strange to do solo-wise if it is the first time you've done it. Boy, am I jumping around so much. So let me try and rein that back. Because I can't remember, I was talking about ADHD before, hyperfixating. Yes, here we go. I was able to hyperfixate in a general method on that, so I have a lot of solo RPG stuff. Because I've been adding solo board gaming stuff to that, I have been hyperfixating in general on that, and every month just picking up 1, 2, maybe 3 things, and so it's just been adding up on my shelf over there for things to play and enjoy. I can't hyperfixate in specifics, but I can hyperfixate in general. I'm glad I was able to rein it back in from where I was going on the solo RPG talk, because boy do I want to talk about the solo RPG stuff and all that. I did talk about my plans and what I want to do. Now that I've brought it back and talked about that with the ADHD stuff, let's explore what I was going to talk about, because I do want to talk about that. One thing that's an issue with solo RPG stuff, if you're not used to the freedom, is what do you do? Now, I like the fellow C4, C-E-E-P-H-O-U-R, and his channel, but he hasn't been posting much, so I don't know what's been going on in his life. He doesn't really do community posting, so hopefully nothing horrible. But one of the 4 Against Darkness things he was doing, because I have got to knock that off, that is just burning. One of the 4 Against Darkness things that he was doing, he was like, well, what am I going to do? Let's do an oracle for this stuff. What do I want to do? I go, do I want to get out of the boat? Then it's like, roll for yes or no or whatever. And it's like, you can, but just also think of it as being your character. It's like, okay, you're sandboxing this and you're on a blank thing. Let's say you do wash up on a shore in a broken ship. Well, what would you want to do if you were there? You just came up, there's a beach, you get out of the boat. What are you going to want to do next? Well, you just walked off on a boat, there's nothing really around you. Maybe you better think about maybe picking up some stuff to eat, maybe grabbing some things that can help keep you warm. Maybe you start looking for stuff to make a small shelter, maybe a fire for the night, or hey, it's up to you. Why not go check, see if there's a path or a road? Maybe there's a village nearby. And if there is a village nearby, well, why would you roll to see if you'd check that out? You just washed up on a beach in a boat, a rowboat. Do you really want to turn your back on a shelter, on a village? No, I think you'd want to go in there, probably go looking for a tavern, tell your tale while you fill your belly, and then ask around like, hey, where am I? What's going on? Then you start doing the oracle thing, because you're asking around. I mean, you can do it at the city gate, where you come around the path. Is it a large city? Is it a small little village? 1 to 6. Roll a 6-sided die. 1, it's a tiny village. 6, it's a capital city. I wouldn't use that range, because why a capital city and you wouldn't have seen it? But if you want to do it that way, you can. And then there are books, like 4 Against Darkness has a 2-book thing, rule book and tables book, to make up towns. Anything from a tiny village to a huge city. And there are tons of village generators and tons of landscape generators. Yes, you want to do rolls on oracles, like if you're asking for information. Oh, is there a dwarf burrow around here? Dwarf burrow. Let's go with burrowing dwarves. They burrow like badgers in this world. So you're looking for somebody that would do it. Still do a D6, but it's like, yes, yes, but, or yes, yes, and, yes, but, no, and, no. And if you get a no but, then it's like, oh, well, gosh, what are you being told about this? There's no dwarf burrows around here. But there are burrows, maybe. Then you might want to check those out if you need money. So you don't have to roll for everything. If you don't want to deeply role play, you don't have to, but you can, and it's kind of cool. So, the last thing I'm going to talk about here is Glorb, once again, has released a new video and song with Squidwalk doing a song, Trendsetter, and it's, once again, it's people that react to this. There are those that react to what's happening story-wise, and when I realize that that's what they're doing, I click off, and even though they're talking about the video, they're also talking about the song, and it's got some good stuff. Glorb just does good stuff. Yes, there was this one person that I was watching where the beginning videos, where I said mostly I just listened to the flow of the music because it's hard to understand the AI vocalizers, and with the no on-screen captions, it's really hard to follow what's being said. And this one person was just saying, yeah, you could have just said into ChatGPT, type me out, write me a SpongeBob rap song. And those first ones could have had ChatGPT spit it out, and then a person went through and did some edits and fixed it up. But once they started actually doing the animations and the characters running around and the animation started getting good, no. ChatGPT did not do that. Like the one that I was talking about just really quick, and I can't remember if I talked about it before, but I talked about it with my therapist, where this one song that's with Sandy the Squirrel. But at one point, she's talking about gang-related activity, but she's mentions the whole CMB for Cash Money Brothers, an older, I don't know if they're still around, an older gang, and then mentioning Crips and Bloods, and then she's talking about her, doing this stuff to these people just so she can see them bleed. And then with C, and then M-E-M, and then bleed done in blue and white colors. So you're going from see 'em bleed as a phrase to using CMB, Cash Money Brothers, as a bridge to see them bleed, or in Crips and Bloods and all that. ChatGPT can't write something 3 layers deep yet. Glorb is doing good stuff, so thumbs up on that. Anyway though, there was, oh yes, the last thing I'm going to talk about is about ChatGPT, because I mentioned yesterday how ChatGPT alone, just ChatGPT, is producing more text than the entire human race has produced in our existence every 2 weeks. Now the problem with that is, here's all the knowledge of human history that we've ever written down and we have right now. And then that first week, there is this big blob of AI generated sludge. When you do a search, now it searches 50-50. But then the next week, this is doubled. So searching, it's got all this AI sludge to look through, and it'll find results. And this stays just the same. And in 2 weeks, this is bigger. And in every 2 weeks, it gets this much bigger, while ours stays just the same. Eventually, you try to search, and it's going to give you results from AI generated text that, if it was written in books, would be the size of the solar system, while all what we've created will be effectively a pamphlet. Now, when you ask it to search, how many results are you going to get that come from the pamphlet, and how many results are going to come from the solar system sized block of AI generated sludge? And this is going to get worse all the time, because our bunch of human written stuff is only being produced very, very slowly. And ChatGPT and all are just increasingly flooding the internet with more than that every 2 weeks. I am going to relax, because holy shit on a shingle, my nerves are not doing good. Oh. If you are a Patreon, thumbs up and thank you so much. It is appreciated. I'm going to hopefully get some New Vegas done today. It's only almost 2:30. I got time to record. I still got time and stuff to do, but I'm not going to be able to do much. Except do a little bit of sitting, maybe some lying down, and hopefully later today this is going to get better. If you've left me any comments, thumbs up and thank you. I've tried to answer as many as I can, but even though I can't answer many, each and every night, wow, I'll try that in English, I love get repentant. Each and every one of the comments, except for the abusive ones, and those are so few, I mean it's like 0.001%. Except for those, I do read and appreciate every single other one of them. Thumbs up, thank you all so much, it is appreciated. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. Ow. Life is fun.